Well, my friend, she called me hysterical. She couldn't even tell me what happened. I thought, she might have had a car accident or something. She said she was by the Kroger. So I jumped in the car. I ran up here. I own the daycare right down the street. And I noticed as I was pulling up, kind of everybody was pulling up at the same time. And in that, I did pull up. I saw her husband on the ground. And I did see another lady on the ground also. And when I found my friend, she was able to tell me there was a shooter who was in the store, and everybody was running out when she arrived, and told them, there's a shooter, turn. So they went to turn and run, and the shooter came out, and her husband shot back once the shooter had shot at them. He had pushed her out of the way. And from that, in that moment, that's when the lady got shot and went down. And there was another lady who did get away. But she's just so devastated right now. It was hard to console. You don't know what to do to help somebody right then. And all she wanted to know, make sure her husband was okay.
And you just got off the phone with your mom. What did she tell you? Because she's inside the store, right?
Okay. Yeah. She didn't give me any specifics. She wasn't around when the shooter. I don't know if she was in the back of the store or what. She hadn't really said. But my dad ran into him in the shooter into the parking lot, or one of the shooters.
So your dad was going into the store as the shooter was coming out?
He was just waiting. He was waiting in his car for my mom to come out. She was going in to pick up a couple of groceries.
So was he outside of his car when you ran into him?
Yes.
And what was the interaction?
My dad did not realize that he was the shooter at first because of the way he was casually walking. He had his gun down by his side with it cocked, and by the time he was up on my dad is already out of the car, had his gun cocked by his leg, and the guy said, please don't shoot, and I won't shoot you.
When your dad tells you this story, what's going through your mind?
I'm glad neither one of them shot.
Is there a reason why, or could your dad tell if he was young or nervous, or why he didn't automatically just put up his weapon when he saw your dad?
No, he said he didn't know. He was hoping that the man didn't. He thought maybe he was out of ammo was the only reason why, because apparently he didn't seem to mind taking 2 other lives, so I don't know why a third would matter.
Do you live around here too,
I do. I just live down the street.
To see and this is probably the grocery store you go to the most?
Yes.
To see this at your grocery store when your parents were here at the time, how frightening is that?
We can't be frightened by everything else that goes on in the world. Bad things are going to happen, and good people still have to go on living their lives. That's what we have to do.
So your mom had to stay in the store while your dad was outside?
Yes.
Is she doing okay? I'm sure she was rattled at first.
She's doing fine. My dad is more rattled than she is, because he was standing within 5 feet of the man.
He was face to face with a
killer.
He
was, yeah.
We were just getting hot dogs and stuff for dinner, and there was abandoned carts, and we thought somebody won the $10,000 or something because they were screaming, and then obviously with the carts being empty and stuff, we went to the back and hid out and we found out what was going on.
My goodness, so you had to hide in the back?
Yeah, we found an empty space and hung out till we knew what was going on. And we know a couple of workers here because we come here all the time. We just listened to what they told us to do, and that was it.
So were you aware that anything was going on inside the store?
No, I just thought, like I said, I thought somebody, lady was screaming. I thought she won the lottery.
Yeah.
Even one of the workers looked at me and said, oh, I hope that's a good scream, and that was it.
Wow. And so how did you know, once you got to the back there, how long were you back there?
Well, we just got out.
Wow.
Just now.
Just now. So
that's almost an hour.
Oh my goodness. What were you hearing while you were back there?
They were just helicopters and stuff, just trying to keep my kids' minds off of it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Well, and to be in there with your kids.
Yeah. Me is a different story, but she's a little scared. She's okay.
Did they give you any indication of what had happened, or?
They just said 2 shooters, and the employee that I'm friends with, she said he walked right by her, and then that was it. So. This world's crazy.
What do you think about that? I mean, while you're back there for an hour with your kids hiding out in the back of the store, what are you thinking?
And just trying to keep their mind off of it. And, she's only 5, so he's only 3 months, so he doesn't know the difference, but she does, unfortunately.
So this is one of those things that's going to be a tough conversation to try to explain.
It will be, yeah. Unfortunately.